Prisoner to painter. Prisoner to painter. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner to painter.
And now, a word from your local Pope dealer.
Dude, I mean, at least, yeah. We good?
We're good.
Perfect. Welcome to the Prisoner to Painter podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott.
And I'm Katie
And
McDermott.
today joining us is Macaulay Rock.
Hey, how we doing?
Thank you for coming on. Thank you. Thank you for making the time. I know it's both busy schedules, so I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I'm just going to interject this because I've been wondering it. Are you Macaulay Rock? Because you look like Macaulay Culkin.
Okay, yeah. And when I had long hair, people said I look like Kid Rock.
I see it too, yeah.
My manager, Mark Gorson, he's the one that came up with the name. He's like, dude, you look like Macaulay Culkin, but you also look like Kid Rock.
Okay.
And he's like, let's come up with a different name for you, and Macaulay Rock it was. I was down for it.
Well, before we get started with your story, I'd like, trying to switch up and see what works better and what works, so do you want to say a little bit about your new album that's coming out tomorrow?
Yeah.
I've been seeing it a lot on Facebook.
So I was supposed to come out with it back in October,
Okay.
but I had like a lot of unfortunate events happen to the point where I just couldn't finish it in time.
Mhm.
I had hernia surgery. My woman was pregnant. I was dealing with a lot with my dad having leukemia, and yeah,
A lot on your
so it's been a lot back and forth. When I had to have hernia surgery, I couldn't walk for like 2 weeks.
Damn.
So I couldn't even get together to do anything. I had to sit in like a whole like love seat. So
Damn.
it was rough, man. It was definitely like the worst. And then I had my dog die that I had for like 12 years, man. She was like my rock, dude. And that really killed me. She died from cancer too, which most dogs do die from cancer.
Yeah, we just lost our dog.
Yeah.
He was 9 in end of February.
Yeah, that I feel that on a deep level.
It's the worst.
I took 2 weeks off work. There was no way.
Yeah.
That dog was more of a family member than some family member.
Oh yeah, they'll be your closest friend, through thick and thin. But this album that I'm coming out with tomorrow, it's a reflection, probably my last 3 years. I have songs that I put in the closet and we're gonna get around to doing, and life just happened. And like I said, I had to take a break, even like a mental health break from like social media and everything. But now I'm ready to go, and I'm ready for the world to hear this album that I've been stowing away for so long.
Good shit, man. Well, dude, so that's awesome. Like, period, awesome. I am a big fan. That song that you pinned, I don't know the name of it, but
Midwest Baby.
Dude, that fucking one is like, dude, I don't know. I showed her it. I love that song.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I really like the beat, like a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that superpower or some shit you say like right in the middle. I fuck with it.
Oh, yeah.
I really do.
I could fly on this beat. I
like that. Man. So normally here we go from childhood to where we are now.
Part of us, the little different stuff is we kind of ask where you think your story started.
Yeah. So if childhood ain't a part of it, then we'll jump right over.
So childhood definitely is a big part of it.
Okay.
I've been pretty much back and forth between a couple of states, about 3 states, my whole life growing up. So I was raised in Albion, Michigan. Went to school there all the way up to high school because the high school shut down and everything. I was living with my parents for about, I want to say till I was like 5 or 6 or 7.
Okay.
I can't really pinpoint. It's really a blur, but then I moved in with my grandparents because my parents just weren't in a really good spot, like mentally, and back and forth, getting divorced or whatever it was. Mom was taking me to Wisconsin, then we go to California, then eventually we come back, and I'm like, all right. My grandparents stepped in and really took care of me. So like my grandpa, he pretty much raised me, and my grandma, who's passed away back at like 16. So she was like mom, and grandpa was like dad for most of my life. My grandpa, like, he pretty much, just taught me, how to be a man, how to be respectful to people, and how to carry myself. And I lived with him all the way up till about senior year.
Okay.
I want to say like senior. Well, actually, no, I graduated, and then I moved out with my fiance into an apartment. So yeah, and we've been together since like sophomore year. So
right on.
So that's like really crazy. I mean, like we had our ups and downs and everything, like any relationship does, you know.
For sure.
And we eventually got our own place, you know, had Nala, you know, and I want to say for the last like what 2 years we've been living into a different townhome and everything.
Okay.
So because we lived at like, you know, Trillium's at.
Mhm.
Yeah, we stayed there. That was our first apartment for
You
about
got
2
there
years.
somewhere,
Oh
dude.
yeah,
You
it
got
was
there
small,
somewhere.
dude. It was small, like a lot for a little place. It was really crowded in there. You know, eventually, you know, we're at a whole different townhome right now and looking to get our first house here. So
Nice.
Yeah, dude, that was the best step we ever took. It was the hardest step, but it was the best step we ever took. It's like, dude, I $1,800 a month, which it's steep. I know it's steep for a mortgage. That's everything included. But I get to talking to people renting. It's like
yeah, but
$1,500.
that's equity. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You're building your wealth at the same time. So like, you're investing. So
It's literally the biggest investment you'll ever make in your life.
oh,
Yeah.
this is a beautiful house.
Thank
bro.
you. I
It
appreciate
really is.
that.
It really
Oh
is.
man, I don't know. Scrolling when we became friends, whatever. I seen your grandpa was a huge part of your life, so I assume your
Definitely.
child started.
He's my rock, dude. Like, there's like times like growing up, like I like at least 2 times a week we're going to the bowling alley because he did professional bowling. This is actually his ring. When he
Oh,
won
nice.
state, he won state like I think once or twice. He has 2 rings. Yeah, he was the shit, man. When they came, can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you're
Sorry, but,
good, dude.
yeah, he was the shit at bowling until his back finally gave out. But man, that was like a part of my life growing up was just being comfortable at the bowling alley, watching him get strikes all the time.
Which bowling alley?
So it was Airport Lanes. I think it's
Suburban.
the one on Airport Road.
Oh, that's the seaside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it was airport.
Yeah, it was Airport Lanes for the longest, and he did bowl in Albion too for a minute.
I
what the
don't.
name of
It's
that bowling alley.
Jack's 3.
Yeah, it's like Jack-
something.
Jackson something.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's
I can't figure it out. I feel bad, but no,
Everybody still calls it.
he used to have like a picture on the wall. Like they had like a little wall of fame for like all the top bowlers from Jackson or even Albion, and they took him down like once they reinvented it.
Yeah.
It kind of broke my heart. I was like, oh, I don't get to see my granddad. He's still alive though. But
Yeah, good.
see him every day. Like 92, dude.
Damn.
Worked all the way up to 89.
Dang.
Like,
Okay.
and he still tries to work like every day. And like, they're like, hey man, you're retired, dude.
Slow
You
down,
need to chill out.
Man,
But it keeps him going.
hey, I'm honestly the first time I was with Albion is today. I'm doing a clean out on a house. I ain't never been to Albion before today.
You worked at the Arby's in there, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
right there.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, I didn't know if you took a right there and then another
So
right.
like right off of the
I
highway.
didn't know it was a town. I thought I really didn't. I thought Arby's and that gas station was Albion. Like really,
Oh.
I didn't know there was.
It is a small town.
I grew up in Concord, like
Okay,
literally,
yeah.
back in Concord. So if I took 3 roads and went down, I was in Albion.
Yeah.
So
I went to Concord High School for a little bit. I went there, I think like freshman year. I think that was it. And then I transferred to Northwest.
when did you graduate?
2019.
Okay.
Well, so I'm just gonna guess here, but who was the most influential person in your life? I'm gonna guess your grandpa.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What was your favorite memory with him from childhood?
Man, there's so many. I really gotta think here. I'm so sorry.
Hey, no, that's the point. We love digging up old. We're like women.
Okay.
We like
I
digging
think
up old shit.
it's probably the time he saved me when I was about to drown when we were fishing.
Oh.
Like honestly, like I remember like I hooked myself with the hook. I was like, I don't know, 4 or 5.
Okay.
But I remember it. I hooked myself, freaked out in the neck. Like I hooked myself in the neck, freaked out, hit my head on the boat, fell in the water, and I was blacked out, and all of a sudden my grandpa just reached me up. He's like, "Oh, that's enough for you for today." Yeah, so that's definitely one of the moments.
Well,
Great.
here, if you watched anything, we love bringing up the good shit, but we also love bringing up the bad shit. Of
course,
So what was
yeah.
your least favorite memory of childhood?
Watching my mom and dad like just abuse each other, like that's why I had to leave. So
Gotcha.
and my relationship with my parents now is a lot better though.
Good.
Their relationship's a lot
Good.
better. So it's been great for
Good.
like the last like 7-8 years.
Has
Well, maybe 5 or 6.
how you grew up kind of like around your parents, like, and them being abusive towards each other, has that like framed how like you approached your relationship? Like,
Yeah, definitely. Even like being a dad now, like, that's definitely like it's showed me what I need to do to make sure Maeve never feels that type of way, you know. But like I said, me and my parents are good now. And our relationships have never been better. My parents had me when they were in their 40s, so I have 5 siblings, and they're all happy. So it's all different moms and different dads, but I'm the youngest. And I happen to come to the point of like our parents as a collective was like the worst in their life, you know. So, and
well, here I drew this podcast inspiration from AA in the terms of stories can save lives. AA saved my life. Now, by no means is this like an alcohol thing. I invite clearly musicians, business owners.
yeah, of course.
But the reason I say that is because I always try to relate. My parents had me late too. So I'm guessing your mom and dad's probably what, 70, 75, somewhere in there?
My dad's in his high 60s and my mom's in her high 60s.
Yeah, my mom's
66, 67.
So I get it having older parents. I just always try to relate. So, I mean, to show the whole point of this is you're not fucking alone. Like, that's the whole point of what I'm doing here is you're not alone. So
Sure.
it was difficult growing up with older parents for me.
Mhm.
I just didn't have the same experience as everybody else.
Is there big age gaps between your siblings and you?
Oh yeah. So it goes me. I'll start on my mom's side with a different dad. There goes me, Kayla, and then Cody and Jamie. Jamie, she's in her 40s, and then
Okay.
I think my brother Cody, I think he's like 38, 39.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay, right on my
Yeah.
age. Okay, right
Yeah,
on.
so I'm young. I'm not gonna be young here in about another year. Halfway to 30. That's crazy.
I turned 20 this year. No.
I'm just saying. If I think down, I'm like, oh man, I feel like I'm 18 still, dude. But, you know.
I'm literally knocking on the door of 30, and I'm like, I was in high school yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on being
Exactly.
a father and already talking about buying a house at 25 because that's a conversation some people don't have until they're 40. So
For sure.
congratulations on that itself.
For sure.
So going from something not so good, what was your favorite cartoon?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Nice.
We talked
That
about
was my show, bro. Every time I like came home from school at 4:30 when I was little,
Mhm.
I turned that right on Cartoon Network.
Mhm.
It used to freak me out as a little kid.
Oh yeah.
I loved it though. Like that's my shit, dude.
Right on.
Some of it was just way too scary.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We found something the other
Some of
day.
that shit.
The Egyptian thing
Yeah.
we found.
It's crazy, dude, that they like let kids watch this like back in the day. Like even SpongeBob, like I'll go back and watch that now and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I did not get any of
Dude,
this.
he pulled this slab out of it was like a little Egyptian flag thing, and I'm like, return the slab. I do not want that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
doing
exactly.
property clean out. Yeah,
I was like, nope, absolutely not.
It's freaky, dude.
Man. Was music always a part of your life?
Definitely growing up, yeah. I just remember times even like when I was living with my dad at a young age, like he had records. Like I grew up listening to like AC/DC, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, just like a lot of old bands.
The original dad rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like on the vinyl records, on the record player. So
Good shit.
like Dusty, and he's given me like a big collection lately. But yeah, music's been a big part of my life. Like I remember just like being like 13, 12, like look at myself in the mirror, putting glasses on, trying to look cool. You know what I'm saying? Like singing like cover songs or whatever. But it's always been my inspiration and my passion. Even if like I was to try to leave music, I couldn't. Like it's like written in my heart.
Do you play any instruments?
I play a little bit of guitar. I'm still like in the beginning phase. Like I'm not that great yet. But I'm learning.
Well, hell, you're a good vocalist, so you don't gotta fucking play anything if you're a good vocalist. I mean, that's why you're the singer. Also, people play.
I'm so weird about my voice, dude. Like I feel like Post, he doesn't like his voice. Like I like my voice, but like I do use like auto tune and pitch correction and stuff. Like I do have a song on the album that I made for my dog that's like nothing but raw vocals, but felt like that needed to be raw.
Okay.
But
Well, I get more into questions about like musical and like more questions about like where you are. But what is talk to me like I'm dumb here. What's pitch correct and what's that?
pitch correct is like when you're like hitting a certain note,
Mhm.
like, or if you're like not, it can correct it to where you are.
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I'm saying?
So you're
Like,
trying to achieve like
and
a
like
high or
every
something.
artist, like some people won't admit it, but almost every artist uses it.
Mhm.
Like even Eminem uses it.
For
Like,
sure.
it's just it also like can just make your like even reverb on like, do you know what Reaver is?
I don't. She does.
It's like a little like, at least my understanding is it just from hearing and everything. It's like it kind of like makes it doesn't sound as staticky, but like
Okay.
it has like a little bit of like a mix, like echo. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So where it doesn't sound too like strainy to the ears.
Gotcha.
Everybody has some type of pitch correction or like edit on their voice.
See, that makes sense to me because I would not imagine all these songs on the radio and like even in person, like it sounds too good to be like. There's no way that's just them. So that doesn't.
Oh yeah, like they even have it like for some live performances. Some people are like straight gifted to where they don't need it at all, and I'm just like I'm so jealous of you.
Or it's like the human auto tune. You know who I'm talking about? The guy who can like. It sounds like he does auto tune, but it's not.
Yeah, that's like crazy. It's like insane. Like people that can do that, you're so talented. You have a gift from God.
Yeah.
Keep on using it.
So I never knock on a door unless it opens. You said God, the Lord and Savior, your Lord and Savior.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And so like, man, dude, that was something like I really like ran away from like in my teenage years and everything. And like I stopped going to church for like the longest. And I haven't been to a church in a couple months, and I'm so mad at myself for not doing it. I've been busy with baby life, you know, since baby's been born. But it's when I go to church, I feel like a sense of relief, like where I'll just start like tearing up, like all the bad stuff I've been through, all the bad stuff I've done, mistakes, whatever. I can definitely feel that there's a God.
Yeah.
But I'll never judge anybody based on their religion.
Yeah, the only reason I asked that is because we've had other people from different religions, my Lord Savior Jesus Christ. But unless that door opens, it's not my opinion. This isn't about me. It's about you. So
exactly.
I think I added you a year back on Facebook. I don't know. I have this thing like I look up to people. I still look up to you. Like I just look up to people. I have a problem. I won't always say it's a problem if I put people on a pedestal. I do. I think I added you. Did you attend Radiant? Did I run into you there?
Yes.
That's what it was from. That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Oh my God.
So Pastor Mike's coming on June 3rd. He's coming on.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
No,
Like out of all the churches that I've been to, he's like the best pastor that I can like just relate to.
Yep.
Just I don't know him on a personal level, but like I've talked to him a couple times. Like he even sat next to me a couple times in church. Like asked me how I'm doing.
He's a nice guy.
But dude, he's the real deal.
I will say that I grew up my mom was very, very like religious, which is like the organized part of religion. So what I enjoy is that, you walk in and it doesn't feel judgmental. Oh
yeah, that is the biggest thing, like that I noticed right from the get-go. I'm like, I've been judged like 1 second. I don't see people judging. I just see people just worshiping God,
It was beautiful, and honestly, you don't know him on a personal level. Neither do I. So I'm excited to like that's why I'm pumped having him on. Like we're gonna get to know him on a personal level.
That's so amazing.
Anyway,
yeah, I apologize. So you said Motley Crue, AC/DC, original dad rock, what you listened to growing up. Do you think that influences your music today?
A little bit, maybe Motley Crue the most. I did like a couple other like songs that I grew up on.
Pardon me, I apologize. I literally just did a podcast Wednesday, and then the same thing happened. And you think I learned my
I
lesson?
don't even know.
This is why I do it live, though, is because so shit goes wrong. I gotta turn that off.
This one.
My bad.
You good, brother? No, you fine, dude. I get it.
I'll do some rapid fire ones. Okay, so you said you lived in a couple of different states.
Can I just go back to what I was talking about real quick?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
I was just gonna. I'm sorry.
I got distracted.
I was gonna say, no, you're fine. You're fine. I was gonna say a couple like other like bands that like they didn't really inspire me, but like that I did listen to, like Boyz II Men and like a lot of R&B. Like I did grow up with my siblings too, and like I grew up in my sister Kayla. I love her so much. Like she was in that era of high school where like they were listening to Soulja Boy and stuff, and like all types of like Lil Wayne. So like that definitely like had an influence on me too. Or like even like my sister, she was just graduated when like MGK was like just coming up a little bit, like when he like came out with Wild Boy and stuff. And I've been listening to him even like since underground. So he's definitely had a big inspiration on me too.
Right on. So right there, yeah, I did just get a little squirrely. That is part of my nature. But I say it 100 times. That's why we do it live. Is because like the cattle come down, jump. Normally I get this whole spiel. I do it live because real TV's not real.
No,
Pound of
it's-
makeup, 20 retakes. This is why I do it real and raw. Not. I remember my first podcast. Some dude knocked on the door to shovel my driveway, middle of the fight. I'm like, that's
Oh,
perfect.
man.
It was perfect, dude. It's like I actually look forward to shit going wrong.
Of course,
So,
dude,
yeah.
like nothing ever goes right.
No.
You said you kind of bounced state around. Born.
I was born here in Michigan, Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you spend the most time in Michigan?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. In the stories from school, yeah, I'm gonna retract that. What was your favorite subject in school?
I would say history, but I want to say like senior year is probably like no, I didn't take this senior year. Junior year, it started with math. Like math became my favorite subject.
Mhm.
Like not like the crazy stuff. Like what was it? I didn't take calculus or nothing,
Mhm.
but because I failed algebra 1 when I went to Concord, and I went to Northwest, and I had to take algebra 1, 2, and geometry at the same time. And I did so much math. I'm like, oh, I actually enjoy this
Yeah.
for some reason.
Who was your algebra teacher at Concord?
Gosh, I want to say Miss Harris, but if that's wrong, I'm so sorry.
It was a couple of years after because I moved my junior year. I can remember her, but I can't remember
She's
her.
like a real small lady, like super skinny. I think it's Hayes, but I might be wrong. Or
Maybe.
Harris.
I don't know. It could be.
Gosh,
Well, perfect. Since we're bad at
I feel
remembering
so bad.
names.
No,
Who was your favorite teacher then?
Favorite team. Man. Gosh, you know, about a war in the comments. I have like teachers on me. Probably, gosh, dude. I don't know if I can answer that question, dude. I want to say it's a tie for like at least 3. Probably between, I'll list their names though. Probably it was when I went to Northwest, my math teacher there, Miss Johansson, at Albion, Mr. Scott, and then I want to say for the third one, probably Miss Dunkel and Albion. I had her like 3 years in a row, like 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, which
Okay.
was crazy.
I just want to interject that Kay said she is proud of everything you're accomplishing and to stay hype. And then we got a couple of
Thanks, Gab.
straggly contacts.
Yep.
Or contacts. You know.
So, who was the most influential person in your life during this time?
Like, would you say like,
Let's say middle school to high school. Let's just say that.
oh, during middle school to high school?
Yep.
And probably my granddad.
So your grandpa.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome, and that's so important to me. Me and my grandma have a similar relationship. Not that she raised me, but I understand how important a grandparent can be.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand in the terms like what you're saying because clearly your relationship's a lot different. Like helping you, raising you, and
Right.
that's just awesome, dude. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's awesome. Did you play any sports?
Yeah, I played a lot of sports growing up. I was definitely athletic. I'm not as athletic as I once was, but I played basketball most of my life.
I mean, football. You seem like a football player.
Yeah, I played a little bit of football. Yeah, I should have played more football, but
Mm.
see, my thing is like I played sports all the way up to junior year. I got expelled.
Okay.
Yeah, This is funny. Most people like know this now, but
Okay.
like I had one of my buddies hit like a wax pen in JRTC because I was gonna go in the military for the longest, and then then I let one of my buddies hit it, and like he just like passed out. I got expelled, got called, got police call and everything. And it was
Damn.
I look back at it like a funny moment now because like back at it, I'm like, man, you're so stupid. You know? Like I was dumb, but
Damn, that seems like a lot of repercussions for a whack.
Did you?
yeah, I know. Like I know a lot of people. Like even one of my buddies, he went to Marshall. He got caught with like a whole ounce, so he got like 3 days. I'm like, I was like, I got all my sports taken away, like kicked off basketball team, everything.
Did
So
you get legal ramifications?
No, I didn't. The police officer was actually a real G about it. Yeah, he was like, man, just keep it in your car. And they were like, what? I'm like, they're like, why are you telling him that? He's like, I don't know. He didn't do nothing. I think he just took it for himself, to be honest.
Was it legal then?
I don't think it was legal.
It must be
yeah,
just
because
right
it was
before.
like 2018. It was the year before the summer it got legal, or November. Yeah.
Dude, we just had to learn the story in order, and we probably never will accomplish that, but we sure damn try.
We bounced
Oh,
around a lot.
Yeah.
Like this. par for the course, I'll tell you.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Awesome. How would you describe your school experience as a whole?
So amazing. I did have like a couple of rough parts. When I did go to Concord, I had people I didn't get along with. You know, part of that was part of me too. So looking back at it, you know, maybe it's just the area. I don't know. Like I love being in Concord, but like there's just like people that didn't like me. So I mean,
I feel that.
it kind of made it hard for me. But Albion, like a lot of people like talk bad about Albion, but like honestly, like I have some of the strongest relationships, like even from teachers to coaches. Shout out Thomas Bradley, like big role model in my life too. I had like the most amazing time in Albion, like growing up. Of course, I didn't get to experience high school there, but like all the way from little kid to middle school, it was definitely my part. And like Northwest, that's where I met my fiance. So like that holds a special place in my heart too. Even though I got expelled, you know, and then eventually I got reinstated. I had to go the alternative, but
Gotcha.
I just tell people that are in school right now, I'm like, you got to enjoy it. Like, even if it's going to a party or like risking, you know, just like getting in trouble a little bit, like you got to experience those.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, dude, you're going to regret it, because it's like the golden years, man, of your life, you know, at least being young.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it. Like, I remember the moment, like I was walking past the stage and I looked back and I was like, what am I gonna do now? Like, I was just like, shit, I don't got no plan. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to go to college or whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did have a part where I wanted to go to the military, but part of me just wanted to stay back. Now my granddad, you know, just my granddad's getting slower and everything else, and I had a relationship, and I didn't want to leave my family at the time. You know, dad's got cancer and just everything that, you know.
It's funny you said that you will regret stuff. I ask every single guest this because it is my biggest regret. Seriously. Did you go to prom?
Yep.
Awesome. Everybody has said yes.
I did go to prom. Yeah.
Awesome.
Both years?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Years, yeah.
Oh, that is like, it's funny you just said that that's the golden years. You're going to regret what you don't do. I don't regret getting suspended. I don't regret fights. I don't regret nothing. I regret not going to fucking prom. I regret what I didn't do. I don't regret what I did.
I would say is like, my prom experience was like cool with my woman, but like, man, I don't think prom, like at least at my school, it just wasn't made up to what it was to be. I mean, at least for me, like it was kind of like a bad night. But other than that, no, it was okay. It was okay. You know, I got danced with my woman and everything, and then everything, it was just short.
Cool.
I think I spent more time at the after party
than at the actual prom. Well, so clearly, I know you probably glanced or seen some of these. Is there anything traumatic from your childhood that you think is pertinent to the story that we're getting into?
Like that just weighs on me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
God, man. I mean, it's gotta be like I said, it's gotta be, you know, when my parents had their rough spot mostly, you know.
Just want to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Like maybe there's, Katie pointed out, and I think it's very cool that we do it. Sometimes we ask questions and it brings up stuff people forgot about, and
Right.
and I just try to inspire that. Like,
I respect that,
yeah,
for real.
You know,
I try to come up with everything off the dome, but man, my memory, it's a mess. But yeah, I would definitely say that, you know, anything close to that's probably like when I was in high school, like my sophomore year, losing my grandma. Like that's really like that was like the first time I had to like really deal with death. And I was like, dang, I'm just at that moment I knew like I'm gonna experience this feeling a lot more, you know. I just hate dealing with that. So
it brings your own mortality, and then the realization that nothing is forever, and it's scary.
It's the worst, man. It's like even the other night, dude, I was just laying in bed and I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, dude, I could lose like everything tomorrow. And I'm like, I just need to like look at what I have and just appreciate what I have for right now. And, you know, that's my family. So
tear up. That's just real though, dude. You don't notice it till it's gone.
yeah,
And when it's gone, it's too fucking late.
it's the worst.
Yeah.
Nothing compares to it. But
yeah,
we will be reunited one day.
Yeah. Yep. You know, that's one thing I've always thought admirable about the Irish, leaving the pennies on the eyes to get across the river Styx. I don't know why to me that
For
is
the
so.
ferryman.
Yeah, I don't know why that's so honorable to me, man. But it's like when I die, just leave 2 pennies in my pocket. That's all I ask. Like, just make sure I can pay my toll. You graduated?
Mm.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's congratulations. A lot of people can't say that, but congratulations on that in itself. Do you think school prepared you for real life?
No.
That seems like a commonality there.
The only thing high school really taught me, man, probably relationships, honestly, you know, friendships, you know, relationship,
Mhm.
you know, just high school, man, is just like we're talking like education system and everything. It just doesn't do it, man.
I think it teaches you politics a little bit.
Like a little bit, yeah. You got like civics and stuff, you know, but like when it comes to like dealing with real life issues like bills and stuff, like I remember like throughout all high school, I maybe took like 3 to 4 classes that were like day long classes, maybe a week long classes, like even in career center about like bills.
Yeah.
And like I don't even think none of that taught me anything. I had to learn all this on my own, like everything.
Through the hard way, normally.
Yeah, credit cards, bills, whatever it is, you know, jump from job to job. Yeah,
I think a lot it's people. You just learn people.
that's definitely it.
You lined it right up. Relationships from school. Is there any friends you still talk to that are I'm gonna say worth mentioning, but that might not be the right way to put it. But is anybody you still talk to?
Yeah, I talk to a lot of people from school.
Cool.
Like, I don't hang out with a lot of people from school. You know, I really, I want to say like I rarely hang out with people. You know, like it's mainly me, my family, and like if I'm doing like music, business level. But I try to make time for friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I do have a couple people. Like, can I say like that didn't even go to the same school with me? Is that fine? Yeah. I got my homeboy Dustin. Shout out him. I got my homeboy Aaron. I got my homeboy Isaiah Wright. He's like sandbox.
Right on.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, this is your show.
We've held that.
This is your show. Seriously, like we are just here to
Facilitate.
This is your show. Seriously, it's
Sure,
all
thank
your
you.
story.
Appreciate it.
Definitely.
I just appreciate you guys having me on.
It's true.
I appreciate it.
That is like the huge thing to me. We try to keep our opinions are irrelevant. The only time that we bring up our opinions is when they coincide. I'll never bring up nothing that butts heads because it's not about that. It's about you. So, what came after school in terms of jobs? You said that you were with the same lady. How long have you guys been together?
That's 8 years now.
Awesome. How old's the kid?
She's about 5-6 months now.
Awesome.
Going on 6.
Congratulations on that in itself. Good shit, dude.
How is fatherhood?
Fatherhood is the most heartwarming thing that I could ever explain. Like, it's definitely changed my perspective on life. And like from the moment that she came into this world, like was the most craziest thing I ever seen in my life. And then just like watching her like cry for the first time or just even looking at me with her eyes, you know, they don't really have control of their eyes at, you know, at that age, being within minutes of being born.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But just the first time, like I literally have like a video that I posted on Facebook when she was born. I was like crying so much I couldn't control it. I literally called all my siblings and just crying. I'm like, oh, she's so beautiful. And it's dude, I was in tears for probably like 2-3 hours. Like I was so sad, dude. Like, but like tears of joy.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just like, I can't believe this happened to me. Like I literally thought like I'd never have kids. Like, and maybe that was the mentality I had. I remember one time I said I will never have kids, but it just really put a perspective in my heart. Like it's just not about me no more. You know, I even pick up extra work, you know, just to make sure I have money for her, my woman, and everything. And I'm going harder than I ever went. You know, now that I have a life that I help, you know, bring into this world. You know, so it's definitely heartwarming, and it's made me into a better man.
When you have something to work for, it makes you work a lot. It makes you work a lot fucking harder.
A lot harder.
Right.
Even when you're tired as shit, dude.
Fucking 16-hour day. I'm going for another fucking 8 after this 2-hour dirt bath. I get it. That's awesome.
Really.
I commend you. I commend you. What was your first job?
First job was Long John Silver's.
Nice.
Getting paid like $7.45 an hour, dude.
Dude, I gotta ask they cook all of it in the same fryer. It all tastes the same.
Yeah,
It all
all of
tastes
it's in the same fryer, dude.
Are the hush puppies frozen, or is it like you like fry the dough? Or,
No, they're frozen.
damn.
Me neither.
They're still good though. They're still good.
Like,
They're so good.
just go there for hush puppies.
I'm weird. I like them with barbecue sauce.
That sounds fire.
That's
interesting.
it's interesting. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, people gonna be like, "Oh, you're weird, dude."
That
I am
sounds
weird,
really
but I used to do that. Like, it was either that or the chicken. I like the chicken there too. But man, it's like it's really greasy though. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like sometimes, like I'll take my woman there. Like, we might go there maybe once every couple of years. You know, because I used to get a lot.
Yeah.
It'll upset her stomach, and
Oh yeah.
So-
it's a gut.
so we really don't get in. I don't know. I really, like I said, even when I was there, it wasn't really even the best taken care of. So.
Hey, dude, it seems like that's a lot of people's first job. Mine was McDonald's, Harvey's. I get it. I was always curious about that because I'm like, dude, it all tastes the same. You get a fish or you get the shrimp, but I love both of them.
Oh
When I
yeah,
get them both,
The
I'm like,
breading tastes
look, it's the
exactly
same.
Oh,
It's the same.
it is. I remember when they did the Twinkie thing, and I was like, I don't know how it's gonna taste with all the
Oh.
other stuff.
Yeah, no shit, just a fish flavored Twinkie.
No. Mm-mm.
I think I did try it once, and it was pretty good.
You got to catch them when they change the oil though.
Oh,
You
yeah.
notice,
That's
you
the
can
best
tell.
time. Yeah, that's the best time for sure. You know, some people they just come in there, they just get crumbs.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can order.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I get down on that.
Yeah, dude, you can just go in there like, give me a whole box of crumbs.
They have it on the menu now.
I didn't even know that.
What?
It's a little bowl of crumbs.
Yeah, and people like I remember just filling a box up. I'm like, yo, this is not healthy, bro.
Yeah, no shit.
But it's good though. It's so good.
That is not fucking healthy. Shit, that's funny. When would you say music became a big part of your life? Like you started pursuing what we know now as Macaulay Rock.
So I started pursuing music probably like senior year.
Okay.
Like on like a level, like just started to record, just like that sounded like absolute dog shit. Like I'll be the first one to tell you. Like I'll have some people coming to me be like, "Oh, play that old stuff," you know, and I'm like, it's all on SoundCloud. Y'all can find it. It's under like some different name. Probably like Little Tension. I used to go by that, but I was just starting out experimenting stuff, and man, it's just dog shit. But some people come up, man, play that right now, and I'm like, no, I can't listen to it. It hurts my ears, bro. It hurts my ears, like just knowing how far I've come. But yeah, senior year is when I started like just drop like a single year. You know, my buddies messing around like making like music on the phone, you know, like with not AirPods, but like you know the wired like AirPods, whatever.
Hey,
And
you gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere.
Hell yeah.
Like in the car, dude, we were making music like just high as hell. Like I used to smoke a lot of weed in high school. I still do smoke weed, but like a lot.
Yeah.
More than like I could right now. Like my old self. I mean, my younger self would kill me. Like, but that definitely like maybe made me into who I am. Like what really made me into who I am is getting to know the business side of music and everything. Especially like I want to say 2023 is when I really started to like drop music for real. Like music videos or whatnot. Like so probably like late 2022, honestly. But
Katie lined you up for your question. You ask everybody.
Would you get along with your younger self?
man, nobody's asked me that, but I'd get along with my younger self, but I would be annoyed.
Okay, but would your younger self get along with you? Like now?
Yeah, he just wouldn't know who I am. He would just be like, he wouldn't believe me that I'm him. You know what I'm saying? In like 4 or 5 years, or what, not 6 years. He'd be like, can't even smoke down with me, bro. Like, dang. I'm already on my 6th bullet.
Would you guys fight?
I don't think we fight.
Okay.
It would be all love. Are y'all saying like, well,
in a good way, that speaks to character.
I don't know. I would say I did have some negative problems like 16, 17. So I mean, I can't say for sure, but I'd like to think we'd get along. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm like.
Beat the shit.
There are some things like I have told people like if I could go back just at this one moment and just change this like the way that I felt that day, then yeah, it you know, because I do live with like, man, I'm making this really public, dude, but I'm gonna do it. and I used to lie about this, man. I'm not a liar by all means, but like I was so embarrassed by this. I used to lie about this.
Mhm.
Me and my dad, like before we got like really close, we got into it like bad. Like we were fighting and everything. Cops got involved. I went to jail and I blew my shoulder out. Like I dislocated. A couple years passed, like about a year or two, because I was working at Discount Tire.
Okay.
And that's a lot of lifting. I remember
Yeah.
just lifting up and I'm like, man, my shoulder just hurting and hurting and hurting. Well, when I dislocated my shoulder, I did get x-rays at Jackson or Henry Ford,
Yeah.
but they didn't really find anything. They didn't even care to give me an MRI. They wanted to give me like physical therapy. I'm like, yo, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like I like started to feel like in my heart, like, but it's just the muscle area.
Muscle type ripping area.
Eventually I went to Marshall and they said I tore my labrum and everything. And I had to be in the cash for like 4 or 5 months.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. Like I was during like the pandemic time, but like the incident between my dad happened like 2017, 2018,
Okay.
like the year before senior year.
So you're just walking around with your shit all ripped?
Yeah,
For
yeah. I
years.
didn't even realize. I mean, when you're like 17, 18, you really don't feel it too much.
No.
But ever since then, it's never been the same.
Mm.
I have to live with that, you know. And then one day my dad's gonna pass on, and I'll still think about it. Be like, damn, dude. Like, no matter how much an asshole your dad was being, and like, just because my dad was the biggest asshole, dude. He is.
Okay.
I love him to death. He's my best friend. But God, man, I wish I could take that back.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like I didn't need to act like that.
Dude, I understand. I mean, my dad got into it once. I cannot say that if it would have went any further, he would have went to jail for killing me. Like he could have beat my ass. And I won't even say commend. He stopped. He stopped before he put the hurt on me.
Oh yeah.
He gave me one last chance, and I wasn't gonna take it. My buddy actually stopped me. My buddy was like, "Your dad could fucking kill me, dude." Like, he was like, "Stop."
I felt like if that incident would have happened when my dad was like 30, oh dude,
Oh,
it wouldn't have lasted long, bro. My dad would have beat the shit out of me, bro. Like he would have, dude. He was like a big time wrestler at Western before he like, I think he didn't graduate high school. He went straight to work like at like 16, 17. But he was like a really good wrestler.
Mhm.
Like so much they kept him on the wrestling team after he dropped out. Yeah, bro. Which I don't know how that happened, but that was back in the day. You know,
Yeah,
like 68.
Then
But he was big, dude. Like I see pictures of my dad. He was huge, dude. And everyone's like, yeah, your dad was a badass. He's like, if you would have fought him back in the day, about 2 hits, you're done, dude. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have fought him.
Yeah, back in the day. Oh man. How was it working full time being an artist?
Man, it's so stressful, dude.
Mhm.
It's like, damn, I wish I could be doing just this. But that's what I'm aiming towards, you know. Especially when you work 2 jobs, you know. Work 2 jobs and trying to figure out how to balance this with a baby and even relationship, you know, it's a lot, you know. When you work that part-time job 2 to 3 days a week, you might not I don't get to see Maeve, you know, because we try to put her to bed around like 7 o'clock, and I'll get home at like 9, 10 o'clock after I just woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, work 5 to 2, and then clocked out and clocked back into another job just to make some extra money for security, you know. So it's definitely stressful, but I mean, you just got to figure out how to balance those things to the best till you can get to the point where you don't have to do that.
Is your lady like super duper supportive of it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. She supports anything I want to do. Yeah.
Well, dude, you work your ass off like you are right now. Here in 10 years, people will be working their ass off for you.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be the top shit. So,
But I'm definitely gonna make sure, like, I never want people to feel like if you work for me, I don't ever want them to feel like they're not welcome or they're not, you know, well paid or whatever it may be. You know, I really want to make sure like the people that are gonna be working, I wouldn't even say for me, like with me, like you're gonna understand like this is a team or a family, you know. That's how I want to be.
I already see who you are by how you said that, not for. You said with.
Yeah, because I'm not like this. I'm like this. I like putting my hand and my arm over people. You know, that's who I am at the end of the day.
Well, also,
a voice for the people. I just heard you say that.
Like I see like a lot of people here on the internet, even like locally, like I feel like there's a thing where people just like calling people out or like not trying to be supportive of other people, regardless of your differences, the way you see life, or even like politics. Like that's not how the world becomes a better place.
It's like, I don't care if I don't like what you're doing, but like the fact that you're doing something is great. Like, not you specifically, but people. Like, as long as it's not hurting other people and it's not like you're a terrible person, like you doing something and doing something for yourself and others and doing your passion, like I think everybody should support everybody's passion.
That's the way it's got to be.
Well, and and we don't bring politics into this for a lot of reasons, but there's one thing that I will say from the Constitution, and that's the only political thing I've ever said is the pursuit of happiness. As long as what you're doing is not infringing upon me, do it. So
Amen.
that's all I'm down for.
No,
As long as
I'm exactly right there
as long
with
as it
you.
ain't harming me.
And it doesn't cost anything to support anybody locally. Like,
Oh, exactly.
$0. It
Yeah.
costs $0 to support.
and even if it does cost
Yeah.
like $5 to go and stand and be there for somebody,
Oh, yeah.
like you
Yeah,
get to
you gotta-
go out.
You gotta support people to get support back in this world. I like all my like close people, like especially that I know that network brothers. I try to like network as much as I can. Of course, like the last year, I haven't been able to get out and stuff. But like before that, that's what I would try to do. Like there's a couple people like that I know like that go out of their way to make sure they're at a show for everybody's event, even if it's a low event.
Uh-huh.
Shout out Tainted Smooth.
Right on. Well, your net worth is your net worth. Heard that once, and I've held on to that. Getting more into your music, talking more into your music.
Mm.
If there was one artist you could have a conversation with in the world, who would it be?
Bro. People already know I'm about to say it. It's MGK, bro. I swear to God.
Really?
My big
That's
Like
interesting.
face up MGK or more recent MGK?
more recent.
Okay.
And the reason is because like he even said it himself, you're not the same person you were 7 years ago. I mean, some people are, but for the most part, you have things happen to you and you change the person. Just like how I changed through fatherhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My biggest thing that I would like ask him right off the rip is like, bro, I don't even know how you deal with this stuff. Like he's probably the most hated person like in the music right now. Like hands down.
Well, especially that new song you just dropped, I see everybody twisting and turning.
That is
over.
crazy, bro.
I
Like
feel
I ain't
like
never gonna
everybody-
lie. Like me, even as a fan, like don't get me wrong, I think that song is amazing.
Yeah.
But I was like when he started dancing on the trailer, bro, I was like, I had to pause it when I'm watching that. And I'm like, I do not have this dude dancing like in sync, like on my bingo card 2025. I'm like, I just remember growing up watching this dude having bandanas on for lace up and stuff. But even if you listen to him back in the day, like he was opening up for like what's their name, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
He was always doing like rock stuff, and he had rock stuff like Bloom way before the beef with Eminem or whatever. But no, dude, like I would also tell him to like, you're gonna strap it up. So is Eminem. Y'all gonna make a song. I'm gonna be happy. I don't have to listen to nobody argue no more.
Yeah. No, dude, for some reason, I don't know. I was expecting something wild from you, like Tony Orlando or something. Like, I don't know why. I was expecting something just crazy. Like, I don't know. So that's why I asked that.
I would say if I had to like talk to another artist, it'd be Jelly Bro.
Okay.
What about any like deceased artist? Is there anybody who's
Oh,
passed
yeah.
away like before our time?
Beethoven.
Oh, I don't mean that.
Oh my God. I don't fucking know.
That's crazy.
They're all equally deceased.
He's the thanks for all of this, to be honest. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
The reason why the music industry is crazy, dog.
Yeah.
But it deceased. One would be Michael Jackson. Two would be Kurt Cobain,
Okay.
and Tupac third.
Right on.
Allegedly. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah.
If you're in Cuba, dude, live your life. Yeah. No, that's true though. And if he did, I don't blame him.
Yeah, no shit. Do you have a vocal warm-up routine?
Yes. I can't just like are you saying for like performing?
Yeah, like drink. I don't know what.
Or
Maybe-
recording.
Maybe
Yeah.
performing I don't, which I probably should. Because honestly, I be drinking water mad through my sets. Like I get cotton mouth so quick. But I want to say like before I record, yeah, I have to like listen to it be like 2 to 3 times, like Lil Wayne, and I have to like literally rap this out.
Okay.
And like whether it's going up or down or up and down or up and down, I have to like do different things. And then even if that means just freestyling a bunch of nonsense or maybe not making no sense for 3 minutes long.
Is there a ritual that you have, or like routine or ritual before you record or go live?
I guess I'll smoke weed. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that's my ritual. I like to be high, but other than that, I like that is one thing. Like I can't do music sober. I don't know, like off of weed. Like I said,
Yeah.
I only smoke weed. I've done shrooms and alcohol. That's about it. Alcohol is the worst drug I've ever done. It messes me up, but weed definitely has some inspiration to why I like
yeah,
it.
for sure, for
See,
sure.
I've heard California sober and I've heard Oregon sober, and that's like Oregon sober, a little bit of shrooms, a little
Oregon sober's got to be crazy though, now, right?
Yeah.
Like Jesus, I've heard it's like crazy up there now.
What are some of the biggest challenges you faced in your music career so far?
Man, it's got to be the business, dude. This business side of it is just horrible. I hate it, dude. It's the first time I like ever got put on any type of business. It was this promoter out in Atlanta. Shout out to G Will, man. G Will is such a dog, dude. Like, and he's such a great, loving person. Like, he always hits me up and asks me how I'm doing and everything. And he really put me to the business side of things. You know, he really showed me, like, I didn't know what BMI or any of these licenses were before him. You know, I was just putting stuff out. I mean, I was buying like leases and stuff for beats and stuff, but that's the only side I knew. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what went on like behind the scenes and stuff. And I got to take a step. Like, he flew me out to Atlanta and stuff, and put me in like a hotel and everything, and really like showed me like, hey, you know, this is what it's gonna be like. You know, this side's not easy, and it never will be. No matter who you're dealing with, record label or your own self or whatever. It's the worst part, man. Even this album, it's been the most stressful part, dude.
Okay.
Like I'm worn out, dude. I was up like since 7 o'clock when I stayed up to like 12 because I didn't have to go to work today. I'm like, yes, man, I got a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, hell yeah.
7 to like 3:50, right before my woman's about to get home. I'm like, man, I've been doing this all day. Like, I literally got a red mark on my head from just like laying here back on my phone, on my desk, and my computer. Dude. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's awesome, bro, man. What is your favorite part about performing live?
My favorite part about performing live is that I'm actually moving, I'm active. And not only that, it's like you can feel like when people are into your shit, dude, they're into your shit.
Yeah.
Do you have a hype man?
Yeah, I got a couple hype, man. I got a couple ones, you know.
Let's say you're up on stage, you're live, you forget a lyric. How do we handle that?
You just move on.
Just keep
You just
moving.
make up something new.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like,
Well, like, even if you're like performing a song and like you even if it's one where you're not like doing all the vocals like live, like even if you got you just move on, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, if you forget like a certain lyric, like if you're like, I can't remember this coming up, man, shit, dude. It's embarrassing. But like I never had that to the level, but I know it's gotta be embarrassing. But like the best way to play it off is just to continue.
Okay.
Like I've had like parts where like I've missed like maybe like a word or two, or like I gasped for air, you know, like I cotton mouth and stuff.
While you're supposed to be saying.
While I'm supposed to be saying, like I remember one time I was on stage and like this was in Ohio, like in Bryan, Ohio, and that's when G Will like found me and like brought me to Atlanta and stuff. He was like, dude, man, you killed that. I'm like, yeah, I only like gasped for air like 10 times throughout the whole set. I don't know how nobody noticed it, but I just remember like, I'm gonna be a legend, yeah, that's on me. And then I remember shooting for the team, yeah, that starts. And I was like, and then like I literally couldn't, the words won't come out like Eminem said. I wasn't joking, it was just like I couldn't, I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And then I drank water and I was fine. But
Good shit.
that's the best way to do is play it off, you know. Try to like hopefully you better have the hook down. If you don't have the hook down, dude, that's a big problem, dude. But if you got the hook down and then like the crowd's into it, you could be like, you know, you could play it off by pointing the mic in.
Yeah, and you're right. They probably, most people, me even speaking from experience going to concerts, if you missed one word, I wouldn't even, you're right, I wouldn't even fucking notice. Like you totally screw up the hook, like you said, you're probably fine. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Favorite show that you've ever done?
My favorite show that I've ever done.
Or a music video, I guess. If there's a, yeah. Show or music video.
I'd say favorite performance.
I'll answer both of those.
Cool.
My first one was the first one I ever done. And it's not because of the people, like it's just because it was the first time I performed. And that's when I like learned how to like man, I got a lot to learn.
Mhm.
It was at the Fudge and Lansing and everything. And
Okay.
shout out Bobby Blaze. He's the one that put me on like last minute. Like I just went out there with a bunch of homies. Like one of my homies, Ethan Rowe, he was out there and so you want to come out to a show? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then Bobby at the last second, that's when I met him. I don't know if you guys know what Bobby Blaze is. You guys should have him. He's a good dude. He's a really good dude. He looks out for a lot of up and coming artists. He's like, you want to perform? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll perform.
Cool.
Like
Just throw it
last second, like set. Me and my homie Aaron got on there. He had a song with me, like, because we just dropped like some music, like low mix music, like a couple nights before. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and perform. And
Cool.
I just remember man, I didn't remember my lyrics or nothing, but like everything was like fine. That was my first time, like I said. But luckily I didn't have any parts where I didn't have to like I didn't have no pause during the beat or anything. But
good.
That's what made me into like I had to think this out. I mean, obviously it was last second thing. I didn't think about performing, but I wanted to perform then.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, fuck, and you got to start somewhere. I mean, I know I've said that 100 times, so have you, but it's like you got to start somewhere. So it's like every decision matters. So if you wouldn't have took that decision, everything could have been different. Like you said no, fuck, I'm gonna be talking to you today. So I'm glad you took it.
Definitely. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I've been asking some of my questions I wrote down prior. I'm like,
That's
fuck.
fine, bro.
No, well, and this is
I
why
got
I'm
it.
trying to eliminate this, but I'm still getting my like. It's funny. I asked you about remembering lyrics. Well, it's like I'm trying to remember how I want to go down the line with my question.
Right.
I'm not there yet.
Oh,
that's
not
totally
there,
fine,
yet,
bro.
You know. But,
How do you maintain your personal integrity while also singing to the demands of the industry?
I thought this one out very well. How do you maintain your integrity while also singing to the demands of the
Okay.
industry?
So like by that you mean like
Like how do you not let the world influence who you are?
Your values, your beliefs, your
values, your
morals.
beliefs. I thought I worded it right, but I might have.
You
I
got-
think the singing kind of threw me off, but
you really got to just remember who you are. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember who you're about and what you're trying to become, and what you don't want to become. Like the industry is a scary thing right now.
would you say it is a game? Like how they referred to it as like the rap game in the 90s?
It's definitely getting like it was a little bit. I guess you could argue it was worse maybe back then,
Mhm.
but it is getting to that point. Like I really think like the whole Kendrick and Drake thing really showed like man, you get body time, dude. Like even though don't get me wrong, Kendrick made a great diss and Drake makes great music too, no matter what people think of them.
Yeah.
They're both gonna be fine, but like it's all fun and games so someone gets hurt, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you gotta be careful who you sign. Those like 360 deals that are like ruining people's like careers and stuff and keeping people from making money off their own music. So
Gatekeeping the music.
right.
Yeah.
And some people try to change you, make you different or whatever. And don't get me wrong, some people do change, like I said earlier, you know. But you just have to learn how to keep that respect for yourself. Like, dude, there is some crazy stuff going on in the world right now. Like,
Gotcha. Well, so the reason I asked that question is I related it to comedy. It's not that I don't care about music. I'm not cultured in that aspect.
Right.
So I related it to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle said, I'm not going to fucking fold on who I am.
right.
Fuck your 50 million.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to relate that
Shout
to
out
the
Dave
music.
Chappelle for real.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
real. So
like
I'm trying to relate that to the music industry in the terms of like, somebody's like, hey, you can't sing like this, but you'll get a lot of this money. Like I'm trying to relate the two. Is
It's
what I
like-
was trying to accomplish.
I mean, I guess that's when the mentality you gotta be like, excuse my language, you gotta like fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Like you gotta like hold your own down. Like you can't let nobody change you for who you are. Like Dave Chappelle, dude, I remember when he was facing all that trauma.
Yeah.
Like I was telling people, regardless if you don't agree with him or not, dude, this is freaking comedy we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about like you go back to like 90s, like early 90s or like late 90s when Cat Williams was so huge, dude.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, dude,
That's
like
a wild time.
people today won't survive in that crowd because they'll be like, I'm about to head out of here. This dude's crazy. He's
Yeah.
Satan, bro.
Yeah.
But shout out Cat Williams, he's crazy,
Yeah.
bro. But
Well, perfect, man. That's perfect. What are your thoughts of the current state of the music industry? This is the only political question I'll ask.
my current state,
Like, how do you feel about the music industry? I know a
In
lot
its
of
current
I
position.
know a lot of even around here or big mainstream.
So,
that's the one.
I'll
thing
say it's the biggest it's ever been, at least in our lifetimes, I believe. But I also think the power is the most abused that it's ever been in our lifetime. is most artists probably won't say it. The big goal isn't to get signed by a record deal. And, you know, some people are fine just making money.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, if you're an artist, your ultimate goal is to get a good deal, you know, for you and your team or whoever, so you can be taken care of and you don't have to worry about whether money's coming or not. Like, it's just the way it is. Like, because at the end of the day, record labels, when they sign you, you're not just signing for money and everything. You're signing for them to help you become even better in the end, you know. And some people don't get that, which I don't like. I've had conversations about this with people, but some people just don't understand it, you know. And do I understand all of it yet? No, I don't. But I'm sure I'll get more educated the more that I grow. But I want to just say, like, handling business side is just the worst, though. Like, you got to read so fine print through these contracts, and just people can act like there's something and they're not. Like, you got to put your whole life in trust and hope you're not going to be controlled into something that you're not. But I do think at the same time, the industry, I think with a lot of research, I don't mean to bring Diddy into this, man, but I think with all this stuff coming out, it's gonna like be better within the next 10 years. Diddy's a big part of the reason. Like, even music's as big as it is, whether people want to agree or not. Like, he was top dog for most of you all the time, which piece of crap, but you know.
I was gonna say, just because you're a piece of shit doesn't mean you didn't do something good.
No, he did like help put like a lot of artists on, whether it was Biggie or anybody, you know. But at the end of the day, though, this incident with him, that's gonna ripple down and really show, like, 'cause it's gonna be dark for like the next probably like 2 years, especially with all this stuff coming out. You're gonna find out stuff about people you just didn't know. You're like, wow, I've been supporting this guy.
The real underground.
Yeah, the real underground, the dirt. But I believe it's for the better, though.
No, I totally agree.
You just unplugged us and it's being weird now.
I,
Yep, I got it, fixed it.
thank you. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, but we'll get it eventually. We'll figure out how to put a commercial on there one of these days.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But okay, I just lost track. Oh yeah, do you think that the market is flooded? Because it seems like everybody I know is not.
It's trying to be an artist. Trying to be an artist.
Everybody's a rapper. Everybody's a rapper, you know. But not then. But then I can decipher good from not.
The market is flooded, and it's gonna be like that with social media. It's just the way it is. Like,
I'm sure.
Like back in the day, I want to say, like, if not everybody on the block was doing music back in the day, you know, you didn't have easy access to an at-home studio or a studio on the block. Like, everyone has a studio now, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. But at the end of the day, though, you can still like spot who's really trying to make it here, just not like who's here just to antagonize people or just to not take it to a serious level of like respecting your fan base, but at the same time respecting other fan bases. Like, some people out here that are trying to create an image. Gosh, dude, I could like I said, I could never be like this. I gotta be like this, and I just don't believe in shade and stuff like that. I don't. But at the end of the day, the music industry, man, it's a scary place, bro.
You ever seen Hustle and Flow?
Isn't that Netflix show?
No, it's
It's a Cuban Gooding.
Junior. So basically, he's like trying to pay bills, and he's a pimp, and he doesn't want to be a pimp anymore. And he makes music, and it's really, really good.
It's a good movie.
Good watch.
It's on Netflix, ain't it?
I don't know what platform it's on, but it came out like 2003.
It's old.
Maybe I haven't seen it. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Great movie. Totally recommend watching it.
Do you think it's important to collaborate?
Yes, definitely.
Because I feel like a lot of business, when there's a McDonald's, there's a Burger King. They do that shit on purpose. So I feel like.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's so crazy, dude.
Like intentional competition.
Well, yeah.
Look at Chick-fil-A, dude.
Yeah.
They're right next to right next to Burger King.
Yeah, they're right.
Really tore down the old court just to make Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I haven't even tried it yet. I've never had Chick-fil-A yet, dude.
I had it. I had the spicy chicken sandwich, and it wasn't terribly spicy. It was good.
It's good.
The mac and cheese, though,
Really good.
on point.
I remember I was gonna get Chick-fil-A. I was at Cedar Point one time. They had a Chick-fil-A there, and the line was long as the roller coaster rides. I'm like, man, I guess I'm not hungry now.
Yeah. No. So getting closer to the end, I just try to give like a 10-minute warning.
Sure.
Just so I just don't hang automatically like, okay, bye.
Yeah, you're fine.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
The best piece of advice I've ever received. Sorry.
Yes.
It had to be from my granddad. I want to say, I'm trying to think of some crazy shit he told me, like, because there's a lot of advice he's given me. It's probably to graduate high school, honestly.
Okay.
Probably to like just walk that stage, experience that. And if I had to say anything else that my grandpa told me, just take care of your family. You know, be yourself. That's most important. You know. Just cherish the times you have and the people that you keep close with you. That's the most important thing. But I feel like most of my life was him like pushing me hard to get through high school. Like at times I'm like, man, oh, you're on my ass so much. But like, no, I see why now. Forever grateful for that.
Well, I try to make a good I try to make a good balance here. So so I just wanted to ask, I hope that I balance your actual life and your story good with your music. Like I hope we didn't stay more on one than the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect. So besides, and I asked that because I'm getting besides music, what are you most passionate about in life?
I guess right now being dedicated, be it, potential, in the future a great husband, and as of now a great dad.
You got a ring?
You got a what?
You got a ring?
Did you?
Yeah, we're engaged.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Just the way you said it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're engaged. Yeah, we've been engaged for like 3 years now. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. It's the best fucking thing I ever did.
Oh, no. I'm gonna cry, dude. I already know I'll cry.
Yeah.
It's gonna come. I told her many times. I'm like, I already told her the song. I can't say it because I don't want to spoil them.
Yes.
I told her if you play this certain song, you play this certain song, I'm gonna ball my eyes out.
Make sure she plays it.
I will say another thing that I really am passionate about. I do love sports.
Mhm.
Man, I want the Lions to win this Super Bowl
Oh my
so bad, dude.
So bad.
What? It's been what, 50 years?
They've been so good the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like this is the best they've ever been in my lifetime, let alone my granddad's lifetime,
Yeah.
except for when they were good in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? But my granddad's like, they're so amazing.
This last season, they were so close.
It just sucks because they just had bad luck with injuries, man.
Yeah.
Like they were closer 2 years ago, but they were better this year. They just like having Hutch, dude. Hutch is the heart of that team. And their defense was so decimated, but I believe they're gonna get it done this year.
I see you strongly supporting
And dude, it's like it's so close to me because like so the siblings that I named earlier, and I didn't name Sarah and Tommy. Those were we have same dad, different mom.
I got you.
But the siblings I mentioned earlier, their dad passed away. He had heart problems. He passed away during COVID and everything. He was like the biggest Lions fan, dude. And like every time these past 3 years, like I felt him like every single day when the Lions were so good, dude. And I'm like, if I could just see it, like I cried when they won the playoff game because that was something I never seen in my life, let alone the last 32 years of people's lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, man.
Yeah.
So like, just from the coach and everything, I believe they're gonna I think they're gonna get it done. I believe it.
They will. They will definitely. What role does music play in your personal life? Like not on stage, not in the studio, in your actual personal life.
It's like therapy to me. If I don't, like I said earlier, if I don't do music for a certain while, like if I go like weeks without even recording something, maybe I walk with like a little bit more edge to me, I walk around like, dang, dude, like I'm really on edge. I'm starting to like just bite, and like that's not me. But me being able to get things off my chest and into the mic, it's important. Even writing's important. But if I can't speak it and hear it, it really affects me.
So how do you stay motivated and avoid like getting burned out? Not just in music, but like
Working 2 jobs and having a kid, man, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot.
Knowing that once you're at this point, you can't go back to who you were. Does that make sense? like you have to keep that standard that you set for yourself, because as soon as you don't, you're gonna notice yourself slipping, you know. And it's like anything, whether it's diet or just goals or whatever. If you're trying to reach something, you gotta keep at it, and you gotta practice, and you have to like let yourself know, even if it's a reminder, you know, on the fridge or on your phone, like, hey, just keep pushing, you know.
Yeah.
And because music, man, it moves in all of us, you know. You know, some people like certain different types of music. Some people like hardcore metal. Some people like R&B. Some people like pop. Some people like it all. I like it all, man. I don't like opera, but I like it all.
I think the feeling's the same though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. You feel it in your soul, you know. And you know, some people make music for the wrong reasons, and even me, I got things I wish I could not have written and stuff. And man, I don't know why I wrote this or said that, but at the end of the day, though, it's just how you were feeling during that time, you know.
Well, and I think some of it's human nature. It's like even coming near the end of this, I always wish I asked more. I always think, could I went this direction instead of that? I think that I'd get it. I understand the feeling because I'm like, I could have did better. Even if I couldn't have, I think that's just human nature. I just wish I did as good as I could.
Dude, you did a great job. I appreciate you guys. Like for real. This is the first time like I've actually sat down. Like I've been on podcasts before, but this is the first time I've sat down just for an interview for me. And guys, I really respect that from the bottom of my heart. Like for real, like.
And that's why I try not to do more because it's not just about music. Music's your story, but it's not your life. And that's why I try to make sure I do a happy blend of everything because it's an interview for you. It's not like tell me about your upcoming album. It's not like just about your music. Like it's to learn you. So that's why I try to make sure I do the whole story, not just
Thank you.
I'm stealing your question though. What's one thing that people might be surprised to learn about you?
Crap, man.
Don't say you like Michigan State.
Hey,
Oh, I like Michigan.
Okay, right.
I like Michigan. Can you repeat that one more time? No, I'm sorry.
What's one thing that people might be surprised to learn about you?
That's a tough question. I know it's crazy. I try to make sure everybody knows a lot about me. I guess like, can it be a bad thing? Can it be a good
it
thing?
can be whatever you want.
Okay. A lot of people, I feel like when they first meet me, like they sense like I'm really like happy all the time. Like I really not. Like I deal with like a lot of mental issues, dude. Like so I through most of like early high school, like I dealt with some crazy thoughts, dude. Like to the point where like I almost took myself out. And
Thank you for staying.
I thank God for like raising me out of what I was dealing with, dude.
That's beautiful.
Like I was like, at one point I really was about to do it. And I was listening to the song Glass House by Kells, dude. And I just remember like I prayed like real hard, dude. It was like right after my grandma passed away, dude. And I was just like, I don't know why I'm going through all this. And you know, me and my parents don't get along or whatever. And like I said, I've carried that. And there's a lot like maybe there's this like a dark shadow that's always like, you know, hovering over me. But I gotta remember I have to pray and I have to just, you know, face those demons every day. And I'm not the only one that goes through them. And some people unfortunately get to the point where they don't have enough help or, you know, they just, you know, take themselves out. But that's never the answer. And you have to know, like, you have precautions for what you do. And people here, no matter even if you don't feel like it, like somebody's like counting on you. And dude, like the last couple months since my daughter's been born, it's been like the biggest roller coaster. Like I just lost my dog, dude. I feel like she was like I always told Phoebe this. I'm sorry to make this a little bit longer.
No,
I always told my fiance Phoebe this. I always felt like Nala was like preparing me for my real, like, you know, human being, you know, little baby. And like I was just saying, I just feel like she's holding out because when we found out she had cancer 2 years ago, like we noticed her slipping, but I was like, I just feel like she's holding out for me, you know. And like within a month after she was born, you know, Nala went. So, and then I just remember just like even yesterday, I come home and I'm just like, man, I don't see her no more. But then when I see Maeve, dude, it just heartens my heart, and I'm like, I can never go back to how I was feeling before. And all the thoughts I had during high school and just all of that. Like I had to be there for her. You know, I want her to see her dad and mom grow up together and have what I didn't get to see, you know, most of my life. So I want her to just have blessings on blessings. There's not a thing I wouldn't do for her.
Well, a couple things. One, it is your show. Just because they're the wrap-up questions never means to hurry up. I'll be here another 3 hours, I swear. So never feel rushed. Second, that one thing you just said, we got a little memorial for our dog. So I want to show you that on the walk up.
Oh, yeah.
I understand.
I'm blessed with that. I got some pieces around for her memorial. I took the last like money out of my pockets just to get her cremated. And like, I was like, I had to have her by herself and everything. And
Yep.
I'm gonna actually. Some people might think it's weird, but I'm gonna get my whole like left arm dedicated to her. I'm gonna get her paw prints. I'm gonna put her ashes in the ink and
I don't
everything.
think it's weird at all. I have my cat who is 19. I have her paws on me, and I'm planning on getting one for Poe, who just passed.
And then the last thing I wanted to say, if you have Audible, check out The Traveler's Gift. It's wrote by Andy Andrews. That book will change your life. It'll change your mind, seriously. And then there's a part 2 to that. It's called The Traveler's Summit. Winston Churchill talks about depression. He calls it his black dog, and it's not hidden. So like depression is this new thing. It's not. Winston Churchill wrote about it back in however long ago. He just worded it different. He talked about it. It's called his black dog. So he said like the cloud covering you.
Yeah,
He talked about his black dog going everywhere with him. He never owned a black fucking dog. So it's all
That's
about his
crazy.
depression. Yep.
guys,
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
Dude, it was crazy to learn that. He'll write about it in history books, and he never owned a black dog. He's talking about his fucking depression.
That's
It
crazy.
was crazy to
That's
learn.
crazy.
Yep. My wrap-up questions, is there anything I missed, or is there anything you would like to share?
I don't believe you missed anything. I loved all the questions you guys asked me today.
Is there anything that you wanted to add?
Plugins, shout outs. I know you already said that. Where can we find that video or album you're dropping?
So tomorrow there will be a premiere. You can join the wait list right now on Spotify or YouTube. They're all posted on my pages. I'll post them on the comments below too for the video. You can wait and see a countdown on YouTube once it reaches like 650, 655, I believe. And I have like a little countdown with everything.
Cool.
I probably made some confused. There's 25 songs, but like 3 things on there is just like little funny things, if not like moments. I try to do that. Like I see artists do that and I'm like, I want to do that. It's cool.
Cool.
Just like a little insight of like one of my friends who gets too fucked up. He knows who he is. I'm not gonna name him, but you know who you are, man. You know who you are. Yeah, 7 o'clock drops, and I would have liked to tease it for a little bit longer, but it needs to get out there and the world needs to hear it. And I've been sitting on it for too long, and I'm ready for people to hear me, hear my side of the story on a couple of things.
Ready to hear it as well, man. My last question, what's your definition of success?
Definition of success, and health is wealth, man.
All right.
Being around longer. And if I had to add anything onto that though, which I will, just making sure that I get to a certain point where I can take care of my family and not have to worry as much.
Mm-hmm.
Be more balanced, be more, just build more wealth, So like if I had to just say one more thing real quick,
It's all you.
some people don't agree with a lot of the stuff, and there's some things like that are weird, but I listen to Dave Ramsey a lot.
I fuck with him.
One of his things that I love that he says, live like no one else right now, so you can live
no one else.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Dude, that is so amazing. That is so amazing, bro. Like, and like once you like begin to realize that, you realize, okay, like I get it now. Like I was stupid with money, and 100. It took me to have a whole baby, man, to get my money right, bro. Gosh,
dude, I fuck with it. Yeah, you gotta live like nobody else, but you can live like nobody else. I fuck with it.
Amen, bro.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my wrap-up question before we get to the end here, and is if you could use one word to describe your entire journey from where you started to where you think you will end up, what will it be?
That's a great question.
It has to be one word. That's the only. That's the only thing.
That's the only stipulation.
I know. I'm trying to think of the right word. I would say loyal, or like loyalty.
Okay.
Loyalty, yeah. Loyalty. Loyalty is where it's at. Because the more you're loyal to your people and everything, the more your friendships and bonds will build, and you won't live with as much guilt inside.
Sir. So, a couple things. We'll be logging off, and
Hold on,
as I ask you to sign the table, I want everybody to sign the table. Sign it as big or as little as you want, wherever you want. And then my gift card. I try to stay local. It's hard to stay local with not as many local businesses around, but I still just try to spice it up. So this week, thank you for pulling it up.
You're welcome.
I did it right now. Panera's Bread. Their core mission is one Panera for a healthier and happier world. The mission emphasizes serving high quality, good for you food in a warm, welcoming environment. Panera also strives to create a positive impact on its community, the planet, and its employees. So I hope you can take your wife out. It's $20, so you maybe can
Oh my God. Thank you, man.
split a sandwich for $20.
Yeah, she's gonna be so happy though. Like, you don't understand. Like, her, I hope she's watching this right now. She's probably smiling.
Well, I also really appreciate them because they always donate their bread at the end of the day.
Really?
To, like, food banks.
I
or
didn't know
shelters.
that.
Yeah, they have fresh break every day. Donate what they don't sell.
I've never had a bad day from Panera, dude.
No.
Sign the table. All right, TikTok. Hold on, on TikTok. I want to shout out to Isaiah for watching us. Hi, love you, dude.
Oh, yeah, our little nephew. Thank you again, man. That was great. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Isaiah.